Missouri River flooding hurt summertime activities and threatened homes on both sides of the river. Yet surprisingly, state leaders say both tourism and sales tax numbers have remained healthy. Joel Porter finds out why.
A summer that never was. This year's major flooding in Bismarck and Mandan either strangled or drowned out activities like fishing, camping, golfing, and softball. All four are activities both cities feed off, which begs the question as to how the local economies not only limped through the summer, but cruised by with almost no noticeable effects on paper.
Our sales tax has probably not been as high as it could be, but we're still spending money, in probably a different direction than we'd like to be.
For the month of July, Staiger says home sales were up, more houses were being built, and Bismarck collected more sales tax money compared to last year. However, Main Street businesses and those along the river were hardly immune to high water.
And that's exactly what our businesses told us, is that they, specifically in the month of June, they saw a 20 to 40% drop off in business pretty much across the board.
Hullet says much of that loss was voluntary. He says once the Missouri began to rise, business owners are willing to sacrifice productivity and focus more on saving homes in the area.
Because what they were doing was coming down to a skeleton staff in a lot of businesses and sending their employees out to either help other fellow employees or just sending them down to help folks along the river.
When examining both the Missouri River and Mouse River flooding, Tax Commissioner Cory Fong draws parallels to Red River flooding over the past 15 years.
And we can track that, during the quarters that were affected by the flood itself, they were very flat. But then right out of the flood, they saw a dramatic increase in their taxable sales and purchases.
A rosy forecast, but officials at the city and state level say the hard numbers in a few months will tell the tale.
This year probably isn't going to be a growth year. However, even in a very poor economy, the last 2 years we had significant growth and in fact led the nation in growth.
There's still, a lot of concern about what happens next spring, and so I think until we kind of get through the next 12 to 18 months and really understand the impacts of the flood and what comes after this, I think we're in the new normal.
A new normal that Hullet says people are already adjusting to. The 3 months of R&R they were hoping for will instead have to wait until the river returns to its old banks. In Bismarck, Joel Porter, NBC North Dakota News.
Fong says he expects to have the second quarter sales tax report by early October.